Gaming is starting to feel like it's at its absolute peak. You have Counter-Strike 2, which is coming out in the summer of 2023, Fortnite, which added Unreal Editor, and you have Rocket League, which added the Nissan Z Performance Bundle in an epic return to the item shop. If you haven't seen the new Counter-Strike, here is what people are getting excited about.
With Counter-Strike 2's new game engine.
Just pause real quick. You hear that? New game engine. We'll get into that a little bit later.
But the smoke can interact with the environment in interesting ways.
Oh, it can interact.
It reacts to lighting. Grows to fill spaces.
Lighting,
naturally.
spaces,
The smoke cloud can be
and
pushed and
bullets?
by bullets and grenades.
And grenades.
In Counter-Strike 2, smoke grenades provide even more tactical opportunities.
So, all things considered, pretty sweet. On Fortnite, what they ended up doing is Fortnite currently, or actually not even a thing anymore, but Fortnite had a creative mode where you could basically take assets that were within Fortnite and build your own custom maps and levels and game modes essentially. And you could get like a money kickback if people use your creator code after playing your map. But now what Fortnite has done, they have released Unreal Editor for Fortnite, which this is a quick little snippet of it. I'm just gonna keep it muted because it's just kind of loud music, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and you can just see it doesn't look like Fortnite. The only thing that looks like Fortnite is the character itself. So now that they released Unreal Editor, you can use a bunch of tools from the Unreal Engine instead of just being limited to what's in Fortnite. You can use an entire game engine to create a bunch of different things. And they actually, in their article about this release, they showed a few maps that they had. Their Epic's picks. So they showed a few maps. I'm going to show two of them, just a picture real quick. This one, which we did see in the trailer, doesn't really fully look like Fortnite. Maybe that one does a little bit, but this one specifically definitely looks a bit different, mainly due to the big old dragon that's sitting there staring. And a lot of this is incredibly exciting because you're able to create separate game modes in Fortnite while using assets that aren't necessarily in Fortnite. They're just in the game engine themselves. And I kind of keep repeating myself there, but I'll show this clip from Tim the Tatman, who I did see. But this is Fortnite. This is in Fortnite.
Understanding, like, this is Fortnite. I'm literally
nope.
in Fortnite.
Well, yeah, okay. Maybe I saw I definitely saw the clip already, but
with the Creative 2.0.
And you can see just how ridiculous this looks. Yeah, sure. Okay, who cares? Who cares about smoke grenades? And who cares about new graphics? But there's also this clip. This is also Fortnite. Now, whatever that actually is, I'm not too sure. It essentially looks like Five Nights at Freddy's in Fortnite. It looks like a horror game within Fortnite. But the idea is here that they actually created like a scene. You know, when like that jump scare happens, it switches the scene and they use, different camera work, camera settings, lighting effects, all this stuff. The capabilities are much bigger. You're able to do so much more stuff with the Unreal Engine here. And also, if you do create these game modes, Epic Games is giving 40% of the revenue from their store revenue to people creating these game modes because it's keeping players on the game. It's getting new players introduced to the game. It's like having 100 games within one game itself. And this isn't out of the ordinary. This is something that Minecraft has done, Roblox has done. Now Fortnite has done this. CS2 has not done this yet, but by adding a new game engine, it makes them much more capable of doing it. And maybe CS2 has done it with or sorry, not CS2, but Counter-Strike has done it with surfing and a bunch of other stuff, but they were limited by their game engine. Why am I bringing this up now? Well, I would really like Rocket League 2, so Sonics, if you could give me Rocket League 2, that'd be very awesome and cool and poggers. Not really. Well, kind of. Maybe if I ask nicely, but we can talk. Regardless, I want to show you this quote from 2017, which was from a lead Psyonix dev. I'm not sure if he still works at the company, but regardless, this is from him, and I find it interesting. I know it's from 2017, but it's relevant, I swear. He said, "We're definitely not working on a Rocket League 2. We see the game as a platform just like you see other popular multiplayer games. We don't want to split the community by releasing a sequel and having half the people go over and half the people stay on the old game. So our intent is to just keep updating Rocket League and keep making it better and better over time." But I think there's been maybe a couple games previously that showed that you can just make the same game and just put a 2 on it. Now, I'm not saying make the same game. Please do not make the same game. But you can do it, make minimal changes, and it still end up working out. Let's look at Overwatch, which I actually do have player numbers for. Overwatch had about 15, 16 million throughout its entirety, average monthly players. This is, yeah, it seems pretty low. Maybe it seems high to some people, but a game like Fortnite has about 230, 250 ranging average monthly players every month. That many people sign on. And this is Overwatch 1. And now Overwatch 2 has immediately 18.5 million. So you can see their player base rises by about 10, 15%. And over time, it eventually goes about 50% higher than what was even happening in Overwatch 1. And I think a large part of that is because Overwatch 2 is free to play, but also, you know, having a game where it already has a player base and just being able to release a new hype game that's basically the same thing has its advantages. It really does. So now we know that adding a 2 to the end of your game is pretty good, and you can get your current players to go to your new game, even if, you know, maybe there's not too much updated. Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2, kind of the same thing. And also, game engine updates are an extremely good thing. I'm not going to get into game engine stuff in general, but just think of it as the foundation of how you build a game. Right? It's the structure. Rocket League was built on Unreal Engine 3. Unreal Engine 3 finished development in 2006. Unreal Engine 4 finished development in 2014. And Unreal Engine 5 finished in April 2022. Those were the release dates of the engines themselves. Now, you know, just because the engine was released April 2022 doesn't mean that game devs start using it April 2022. If they're already building a game, they're going to finish it on the current engine. But the thing is, if a game was built on Unreal Engine 4, it's extremely easy to port it to Unreal Engine 5. But Unreal Engine 3 is not as easy to do so. And when I say as easy, I mean it's not really even possible. So Rocket League has to build the game from the ground up on Unreal Engine 5. And again, Rizzo, why are you talking about this? Well, if we go back about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I don't know, this says a year and a half, other thing says 2 years. There was a job posting from Psyonix, from Epic Games, that talks about Rocket League's move to Unreal Engine 5, as well as future Psyonix projects, including Rocket League Sideswipe and Rocket League's move to Unreal Engine 5. That's what it says in the job posting. This is somebody they need to help them move the game and transition it to Unreal Engine 5. So that means if it's in the job posting, they're probably working on it. I would at least hope so if they're hiring somebody to do so. Again, this was a year and a half ago, and this actually became a Reddit post, and the Reddit post got a response from the community manager, I believe, and he said, upgrading the technology that powers Rocket League, including a move to Unreal Engine 5, is something we are actively working on. This is a long-term project for us, and we'll share more details when we're ready to show our players what's coming next. I think Devin actually made the comment because people were kind of blasting Psyonix for not really saying anything about updates and Unreal Engine 5 and roadmaps, community roadmaps, all this stuff. And so maybe they just broke and they're like, okay, let's say something about it. Let's just tell them it's long-term so they shut up. Well, he said something and now people know about it. So a year and a half, 2 years later, there still hasn't been any word. Rocket League is the perfect candidate to have some sort of creative mode. They used to have a little bit of it with Steam Workshop, but you know, since they moved from Steam to Epic, that no longer really works. It kind of does, but it's not used as much, and Epic Games players can't really do much with it. You can use it, but it's even more complicated, and that's not to say it was even easy in the first place. That also doesn't include any of the console players that probably want to play the creative maps that are being made regardless. It's confusing. It's a whole third-party thing. It's not in the game. That's my point. Rocket League needs a creator mode in their game to actually make their casual fan base love their game again. Because I'm not saying that they hate the game or they dislike the game, but it's much easier when you have your core game like Rocket League, but you also have 100 different game modes made by the community, stuff that the community wants. That's why they're making it in the first place, because they know the community might want it, or, you know, at least they and their friends want it, so it keeps them on the game. Fortnite, you know, they have the core Fortnite game, which people play, but they also have a bunch of their creative game modes that so many people are playing as well. Just look at games like Minecraft and Roblox, where they have, Minecraft has all the modded support, and Roblox has their, I think it's called Workshop, and people are able to just basically like custom code Roblox games. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the biggest thing here is Rocket League's casual fan base can definitely, you know, be raised. They can gain a casual fan base, because I don't think Rocket League has much of one, considering their whole game and their whole scene is competitive. You know, maybe I'm in a bubble a little bit, but Rocket League esports is a big thing to me, obviously. But it seems like, you know, if Rocket League esports is a big thing, the 3v3, and the only thing I see people really playing is ranked 2v2s and 3v3s, it just seems like there's not many other options. That all leads to this. Is Unreal 5 still coming? Now, I think yes, obviously, but The reason I even asked that in the first place is because Psyonix has been absolutely silent. Psyonix and Epic have been absolutely silent about this. So, you know, if it is coming soon, how long is soon? Is it a month? Is it a year? Is it 5 years? How long is the timeline? Psyonix used to release, or I say used to, they released one, I'm pretty sure, a community roadmap, and they showed basically what they were doing and what they were planning on doing. I think the reason they stopped doing it is because when they released their roadmap, they missed one of the deadlines, and then they said, let's not do that again. But regardless, please, just let us know. I just want to know, is it coming soon?